Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Kashif Kamran. Welcome to the Strategic Business Leader December 2024 crash course, which is titled Mastering SBL. Now, today is the first day of this December 24 crash course. So let's first look at the agenda, what is in store over the 4 days of this crash course. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Today is the day one and day one of this crash course. Let's see what is in store for this particular session. Now, the agenda and the overview of this particular crash course, which is spread over the 4 days, includes the following. I will be discussing with you the changes in the SBL since September 23 exams. Even though you all might be aware of it, it's very important to reinforce it, and it's very important to understand the benefit and the importance of these changes and how positively are they impacting the pass rates. Number two, I need to discuss with you the role of pre-scene, and you're all aware that the December 24 pre-scene will be released 14 days before the exam. So how would you go about it, and what's the role of the pre-scene? I need to shed some clarity on it. Number three, revision and practice techniques. What sort of revision and practice techniques you can take now when your exams are just 1 month away? Technical marks. How can you ensure excellence on the technical marks in SBL? Number five, professional marks. How can you ensure excellence in professional marks in SBL? Number six, examiner insights. Why students fail in SBL from the June 2024 examiner report, the latest one, despite the fact the passing rates of SBL is at the highest level at 53%. We have never seen that high passing rates for SBL since it started in September 2018. So very good passing rates, very attractive passing rates. Despite that, why students are failing, that needs to be investigated. And then the past paper, I mentioned you that we will be doing the NC Tech case study, which is from the December 2023 exam, and I will be solving the task one, the task two, and the task three. That is on the day two, day three, and day four of this crash course. Let's open the day one. Let's start looking at some of the very important things which will lay the foundation of the day two, day three, and day four. Now, first of all, I would just like to summarize the changes which have come in the SBL paper since September 2023 exams, and you can see on your screen a summary. Number one, number one is the pre-scene case. We know the pre-scene is released 14 days before the actual exam. So you're appearing for the December 2024 exam. So 14 days before your exam date, you will get hold of the pre-scene case for the December 2024 exam. What you need to do on the pre-scene, I will be guiding you shortly. The second change is the time allocation. I hope you're very familiar with that. The time management in SBL paper now is 195 minutes. It used to be 240 minutes prior to the September 2023 exams. What sort of time management you should follow now? I will have a word on that shortly. Number of exhibits. You know the number of exhibits which you will find in the real exam are now four. So that means uh, you're reading less on the day of exam. The number of tasks in the paper are now three. So that means you have fewer tasks to attempt on the day of exam. And that is all positively impacting on the reduced time, which is 195 minutes. Task display. Each window you see will display you one task. So one task, one window, and you solve the task, you click on the next button, you go to the next window. You see the task number two, you click on the next button, you go to the next window, and you see the task number three. That's similarly like the AAA paper I teach. So one window, one task. Professional skill assessment. Each professional skill, there are five professional skills in the SBL paper. Each one of them will be tested for 4 marks. There will be no repetition of the skills. Each skill will be tested, and the weightage of each skill will be 4 marks. So that's 4 multiplied by the five skills, you have 20 marks. So that is a summary of the changes. I hope you're all familiar with that and you are reinforcing these changes when you're practicing the recent exam papers which are published since September 2023 exams. If you go to the papers prior to the September 2023 exams, you will see a different structure. But when you practice from September 2023 exams onwards, you will see exactly the same structure, which is right in front of your screen. So I hope you're all satisfied with this reinforcement of the changes if anyone was unaware or had any misunderstanding. Now, how would you prepare yourself for December 2024 exams around these changes? This is what I will be looking now shortly. Yeah, the 10 minutes of the extra time, which you can see at the time of booking the exam, instead of 3 hours and 15 minutes, they tell you 3 hours and 25 minutes. That's to read the instructions given to you in the computer-based exams. Your actual exam time is 195 minutes in which you need to attempt the paper. The extra 10 minutes you have is for instructions and the reading of instructions. I hope you're clear with that. That was a question from one of the students. Okay, now moving further, looking at the time management. Now, I was just discussing with you that the time has changed in the SBL paper since September 2023 paper. Now, the time you have is 195 minutes, and I will be doing a simple mathematics here, not any complex time management allocation. You have 195 minutes on hand, and I'm looking at a paper which is in total 100 marks, irrespective of technical marks and professional marks. We have a 100 marks paper. So a simple mathematics says 1.95 minutes per mark. Now, you open up a task, and the task is for 34 marks. You multiply 34 marks by 1.95 minutes, and you will find the total time you have for that task. You have to remember 1.95 minutes per mark. Let me show you that. You go to the exam paper, which we will be solving on day 2, day 3, and day 4, NC Tech. You can see that right in front of your screen. For example, you look at the task number 1. The task number 1 is for 36 marks. So the moment you open up the 36 marks requirement, you go to your word processor and you say, okay, that for this particular task, how much time I have? I have 36, or rather you can open up your calculator and you can check on your calculator how much time you have for this 36 marks requirement. So you say 36 marks, 36 multiplied by 1.95 is equal to 70 minutes. So I have 70 minutes which I can give to this particular task. Now, this 70 minutes is an absolute time, which includes the reading and planning time and which includes the writing time. So 70 minutes. Now, of this 70 minutes, how much is to read and plan and how much is to write? You know the rule of thumb. 1/4 of the time should go on reading and planning, and 3/4 of the time should go on writing. So you find what is 1/4 of it. So you divided this by 4 and you get to know 17 minutes. So roughly 17 minutes you have to read and plan this question, and 53 minutes you have to write. Is everyone clear with that breakup? I will first find the total time, multiply by 1.95, I get the total time. Of that total time, 1/4 is for reading and planning, 3/4 is for writing. So I found that through my calculator, and that's 17 minutes approximately to read and plan, and then we have 53 minutes to write. Now, what best you can do within that 70 minutes, you will do it. 70 minutes are over, you click on the next button, and you go to the task number 2. Task number 2 is of 30 marks. You again multiply that by 1.95 minutes. You find the total time. Of that total time, 1/4 is to read and plan, 3/4 is to write. You finish the task 2 within the stipulated time and you move to the task 3. Now, a lot of time, the student overrun time. I would not prefer that. Each task has a time. Try to do your best within that. So what best you can do within 70 minutes for the task 1, just do it. And just leave that and move to the task 2. Even if it is incomplete, put a full stop, and move to the next task. Because you cannot just excel one task at the expense of the other task. Because there are so much opportunities you have in the 100 marks paper. You cannot just say, okay, I'll do one task and pass the paper. Not at all. Is everyone clear with the time management mechanism? Any confusions with the time management mechanism? I'm just waiting for your quick replies to my question. Is everyone clear with the overall time management which has been demonstrated? And I hope you will all stick to that. You will not be giving overtime to a question. You will try to do your best within the time you have for that question and move on. Right? So this is a simple mathematics we have just done. I hope you will stick to that on the day of exam and even when practicing at home. Okay, just let's move on. You know the marks breakdown of the paper. It's a 100 marks paper where 80% of the paper is technical and 20% of the paper is professional. I'll be guiding you today in my day one how to excel on the technical marks and how to excel on the professional marks. So you will be getting a good illustration of that before we start answering the task one, two, and three on the respective 3 days of the webinar or the crash course. Okay, now pre-scene. uh, release and the tutor debrief. You know you're enrolled in the SBL crash course or you are enrolled in my SBL regular classes. Irrespective of that, you will be getting hold of my tutor debrief that's included in both the courses. 14 days before the exam, the pre-scene will be released. So estimated date is like 19th of November, 19th or 20th of November, ACCA will be releasing the pre-scene. So you will all get hold of the pre-scene and you will start spending time on the pre-scene. What should you do on the pre-scene? I'll just be guiding you. 8 days before the exam, that's roughly 25th of November, when I will be doing a live debrief with all of you on the pre-scene, because in those 7 days or 8 days since the pre-scene was released to you, you must have spent time on it. You must have absorbed it. Then you will watch my debrief. You will attend the live debrief uh, conducted by myself, and you will then learn more about it. So at the end of the day, you will have a better preparation around pre-scene, which will really be helping you on the day of exam. So is everyone clear with the timetable of the pre-scene? When it will be accessible to you and when I will be conducting my tutor debrief. I hope you're all sound and clear on that. Please ensure when you're practicing the papers from September 2023 onwards, each paper has a pre-scene. So you should read the pre-scene before attempting the answers. Is anyone doing this practice at home that you do the pre-scene first and then you go down to the actual paper and then you do the remaining paper just like you do on the day of the real exam? So because pre-scene is to be read before the real exam, right? So if you're doing the September 23 paper on the ACCA practice platform, or you're doing the December 23 paper on the ACCA practice platform, I hope you're reading the pre-scene before. I even given you the NC Tech pre-scene in the WhatsApp group. So you can all read that before I do the question and answers in the day two, day three, and day four. So please be assured of that, that this will really be helpful for your real exam. Okay, now moving onwards and just to see how to go about doing the pre-scene. What should you be doing in pre-scene and what should I be doing in the pre-scene? That's very important. Okay, the pre-scene case, which will come 14 days before the exam, will familiarize you with the relevant organization and the industry. So 14 days before the exam, you will get to know the relevant industry and the relevant organization which you will be facing in the real December 24 exams. So that's one thing. You need to familiarize yourself. It also introduces important jargons. If you encountered any unfamiliar term which you don't understand in the pre-scene, you can go up to the Google and check clarity for that difficult word, that what that difficult word mean. So there could be a lot of jargons within the industry information or within the organizational information which you might not understand. So you have an opportunity to go onto the Google and search the meaning of the term. So you're very clear before the day of the exam what that term mean, because you can reproduce those jargons in your answer on the day of exam. So we know you have a vocabulary for SPL, and the vocabulary is coming from the pre-scene. The vocabulary is coming from the exhibits you have on the day of exam. And if you use that vocabulary, if you use that jargon within your answer, you are creating a lot of impression for your marker to give you good marks. Expect around 12 to 14 pages of reading, which is in the pre-scene. So you have to read 12 to 14 pages. You need to make a summary. How can you make a summary? How can you summarize that information on 12 to 14 pages? How can you retain that information for the day of your exam? Look at the number fourth bullet, which is very important. Student should read the pre-scene and take notes or summarize before the tutor debrief. What's the best strategy for summarizing and retaining pre-scene ahead of your big day, the exam day? How would you retain it? Now, you have learned so many models. You can choose any one model or any two models. For example, one student choose SWOT model. He read the pre-scene and he makes the entire pre-scene into a SWOT model. He finds the strengths, he finds the weaknesses, he finds the opportunities, he finds the threat from the industry information and from the organizational information. So he sum ups the whole uh, pre-scene in a SWOT model. One student says, no, I'll do the port of five forces. He reads the pre-scene. Wherever he finds the bargaining power of the buyer or supplier or any threat of a new entrant or any competitive rivalry in the industry or substitutes, he keep noting them down under the headings. One student says, no, I'll be doing the pestle analysis. I'll find the political environment, economic environment, social environment, technological environment. There are so many ways in which you can read through the case study, either apply pestle or apply port of five forces or apply SWOT, or you can apply more than one model. You can apply the SWOT and the port of five forces. You can apply the SWOT and the pestle. So that is the best way you can holistically summarize the pre-scene. So try applying a model or a two to your pre-scene, and you will get a good amount of knowledge and you will get a good summary at the end of the day, which will be helpful. Is that clear to all of you? Bullet number four. So when you're reading the pre-scene, read it once, and after you have read it once, convert the pre-scene into a model. Is that clear to all of you? In that way, you can retain the points. You know the strengths, you know the weaknesses, you know the opportunities and the threats on the 14 pages, or you know the port of five forces on the 14 pages. So that's the best way you can summarize the pre-scene, right? So one model or two models, it's up to you. You can also watch my previous pre-scene debriefs you have access to if you are a regular student, just to take an idea how I do pre-scene debrief. Even I put the NC Tech pre-scene debrief. No, sorry, I put I put one of my pre-scene debrief on the YouTube channel recently for everyone. That was around I think the football club, because we know the mock exam pre-scene for December 24 is around football club, which has come in March 2024 actually. So I put the March 2024 pre-scene debrief, March 2023, sorry, March 2024, right? On the YouTube channel. I hope you can all see that. So you can just see how the tutor debrief a pre-scene. You can just take an idea how the tutor makes the summary of the of the pre-scene. Number five, don't spend all your time on the pre-scene in the last 14 days, as you have plenty to revise and practice. You're just reading 12 to 14 pages and making a summary. You're not expected to put uh, the entire time of the last 14 days on pre-scene. You hardly need 1 hour a day on pre-scene, and that should go down. You might be needing 1 hour a day when it is released. But thereafter, you can just put 30 minutes revising it every day because you've made a summary. But you're not expected to put all your time on pre-scene because you need to revise, you need to practice. Number six, avoid expanding research beyond pre-scene. Don't just go to Google and start to research more about the industry, more about more about the challenges of the industry, which is given in the scenario, more about the characteristic of the industry given to you in the scenario. Don't just waste time on that. Don't use any artificial intelligence or any chat GBT while you are expanding upon your research around pre-scene, because it's just about reading the 12 pages or 14 pages given to you by ACCA. If you find anything difficult in terms of a terminology, you can go on to the Google and check it. But beyond that, you're not doing any research. I hope you're clear with that. And then lastly, remember, the pre-scene offers context, but it's not the sole answer. It's not the sole answer on the exam day. I'm repeating my words. It's not the sole answer on the day of exam. A lot of time, the student learn the pre-scene as if we will be producing 90% of our answer from the pre-scene. No, pre-scene is just making you familiar with the organization or with the industry that will be coming in the real exam. It's just providing you familiarity. It's just giving you idea of the terminologies, of the jargons, of the structure, of the governance, of the risk, of the strategy, etc. Many students tend to forcefully copy paste from the pre-scene even when the answer is in the provided exhibits. How many exhibits you have on the day of exam? The answer lies in the exhibit given to you on the day of exam. Pre-scene is just providing you a context. You can spontaneously recall something from the pre-scene you gone through, and you can refer that to that in your answer, but you cannot just forcefully copy paste the pre-scene in your answer as if it is the answer. So pre-scene can come somewhere in the answer where needed, or where you can spontaneously recall something from the pre-scene and you make that as part of your answer. That's perfectly fine. But if you're unnecessarily copying the pre-scene as if it is the sole answer, that's wrong. Is everyone clear with the bullet number last about what is the role of pre-scene? And pre-scene is not the sole answer. Is everyone sound and clear with that? And is everyone clear about not going beyond the pre-scene for broadening your research? Not using any artificial intelligence or chat GBT for helps and support for broadening your research? Is everyone clear of the application of a model to pre-scene so that you can make a summary? So any further questions around pre-scenes, do's and don'ts, which you would like to ask me before I proceed further? Any question around the pre-scene which you believe has not been addressed? If any question is there around pre-scene? Okay, if you have any question, you can raise that in the last 10 minutes of the crash course. I will be taking on your questions and giving answers. Just let's move on then. Okay, revision and practice. How important is that? 1 month you have before your actual December 2024 exams, how to go about revising and practicing. Number one is revision on the left-hand side. Key theories and models. There are so many theories in SBL, so many models in SBL, which you need to have on fingertips. I have prepared a checklist, which is SBL checklist by Kashif Kamran, which I will be showing you on the screen. And the good thing is I will be uploading it on the portal with the day one of the crash course. And I will also be sharing this in the WhatsApp group. So you have access to this checklist. I'll show you what is the purpose of this checklist and how you can assure yourself that at least you have covered 75% of the models and theories through this checklist. Technical articles, I'll just be showing you a glimpse of that, how important they are and what contribution they do in your real paper. And at times, student tends to ignore them broadly. ACCA Study Hub definitely is a good resource when you want to revise. There are flashcards. The flashcards can be used for a quick revision. And that is a wonderful resource ACCA has given you for a quick revision of your SBL. But I have made my own checklist, which at least give you a 75% overview of the key models and theories, and then I will be laying emphasis on the technical articles. Just first look at the checklist I have prepared before moving on towards the practice side of SBL. Okay, I hope you can see in front of your screen a document which is known as SBL checklist. Look at what is written under. It is an assurance checklist. And because I teach the AAA paper, I have carefully written that this checklist is giving you a reasonable assurance, not absolute. All of you see this checklist on your screen? Please confirm me so I can start telling you what is in the checklist. Okay, you can see. Thank you so much. And can you see the statement? A reasonable assurance, not absolute. So this checklist will try to cover 75% of the models, but not 100%, right? But at least will give you a greater confidence that, yes, I have done this all. What is the meaning of the word checklist? You just look at the checklist and say, okay, I have done it. I have done it. I have done it, right? So you just keep ticking them, right? So the purpose of this checklist is box ticking. And that box ticking will give you an assurance that, yes, we have done it. Just let me show you a glimpse of it. You go down the checklist. Look at this. I've divided the checklist into area wise, A and B, leadership and governance. And under that, I've tried putting the most important things which should be known to a student. For example, you should be knowing the role of the board of directors. You should have them on the fingertips. You should know the role of the NEDs. You should know the role of the risk committee. You should know the role of the remuneration committee, audit committee, nomination committee. Just keep taking it. I know it. I know it. I know it. I know it. Just keep asking a question to yourself because this is like a self assurance. Director remuneration and rewards. Do I know about how to remunerate a director? How to give rewards to a director? What about performance related pay? Role of the chairman. Am I aware of the role of chairman? Am I aware of the role of a CEO? And you go down this way. At some places, you will see the yellow highlighting. Can you all see the yellow highlighting at some places? Can you all see some yellow hightings at some places? Yes, you can. What does that yellow highlighting means? A technical article. Look at number 8, public sector governance. There is a technical article on the ACCA website by the same name, public sector governance. So better go and read that. Then number 12, normative and instrumental. Are you clear about the normative and instrumental philosophy? If you're not, go and read the article all about stakeholder, part 2, because it's covered there. Are you aware about the Menlo metrics? Yes. If you still want to revise it, go and read the article all about stakeholder, part 1. Uh, are you clear about the stakeholder theory? Because stakeholder theory is part of the normative philosophy. You know, normative philosophy is the one where we focus on the stakeholders. The instrumental philosophy is the one where we just focus on the shareholder. So, you know, there is a greater debate on shareholder or stakeholder. So, stakeholder theory is being covered in another article, which is known as responsible leadership. And this article is also available on the website. So wherever there is an article which connects with a model or a theory, which is part of your syllabus, I've given that in the yellow highlighting. Number 14, you can see there is another article, Gray Owen Adam. The Gray Owen Adam is part of your syllabus. That's covered in All About Stakeholder Part 2. And you go down this way. You have number 17, integrated reporting. There is an article on integrated reporting, 6 capitals. There are total 20 areas you have under syllabus area A and B, which should be on your fingertips. Is that clear? And of those 20 areas, wherever there is an article, I have mentioned that. So at least you can read the article. If you have read it, good. Checklist. This is a checklist. Some will say I have done it, some will say I have not done it. But you still have 30 days. You can still do it. Will this checklist help you? Is this checklist understandable to all of you? Is this something helpful to all of you? I've just shown you the list of 20. I'm going down, showing you the others. Then is the syllabus area C after AB. C is strategy. So in strategy, I tried putting all important things. PESTEL. PESTEL is covered in the article Strategic Planning Process Part 1, available on the website. 5 forces. Four to five forces, that again is covered in the strategic planning process part one. The Porter Diamond, there is no article on that, but you should know that. The six M's. I hope you know about the capabilities, resource, and competence. The six M's. The six M's is given in the strategic planning process part one article. Generic strategies, differentiation, cost leadership, that's given in the strategic planning process part two. So a lot of articles are also helpful in this checklist. So you know the importance of the articles by now. Um, so you continue the list from C, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. See how many models are going through SWOT, market segmentation, value chain, related and unrelated diversification, and soft growth metrics, uh, growth methodologies, franchising, internal growth, mergers, acquisitions, joint ventures. We know this is a very popular area with your examiner. There is an article, Growing in Partnership, which covers most of them. And then the SAF model, suitability, acceptability, feasibility, that's also covered in the strategic planning process part two. So the list is going up to 33. And then you come to the risk management. There are so many areas under risk management. Again, the yellow tells you the article, which is on the website by the same name. So the list from risk management is from 34 to 41. Then you come to technology. In technology, the list starts from 42 going up to 50. Again, I've marked the article. See, in technology, most of the stuff you have in technology is covered by the articles. That's the one good area where SBL examining team has given you so much support. Most of the articles are written around technology and they cover almost the 100% of the SBL syllabus. F is internal control, the shortest area, 51 and 52. At least there is one article for that as well. Then you have syllabus area G, finance and planning and decision making, 53, 54, 55, 56. There is another article there as well. Syllabus area H, 57, and moving downwards. Again, you have a lot of articles. For change management, I've given you a YouTube link. Please explore this. Then the yellow is the articles. Then for the number 60, the Harmon metrics, you know, the Harmon process strategy metrics, such an important model for SBL. Again, I've given a YouTube link over here. And then you have the potential impact of the disruptive technology, something about cryptocurrency. You know, there is an article on cryptocurrency as well. How many things are there in this checklist? 61. So you're revising the 61, you are assuring the 61, and you're saying, yes, I know all the 61. So download this, take a printout, and keep a pen with you. Keep ticking it. I've done it. I've done it. I've done it. I've done it. I've not done it. Let's do it. I've not read this article. Let's read it. I've not watched this YouTube link. Let's explore it. Will you do this, all of you? Is this something important? Is this something interesting? Do you find any value of this 61 on your screen divided under all the syllabus areas? Do you find any benefit of this? Is there any value of this checklist? Will this assure you? Will this give you a confidence that I've covered the major theoretical aspects of SPL? And can this give you a self-evaluation, how many you have done and how many you have not done? So will you still do the remaining in the time you have for exams? Yes. So I hope you will take a printout of this and this will become a wonderful resource for your revision. So I hope you will use this as a revision ahead of your exams, and that's one way of revising. Another way of revising is the flashcards you have on the ACCS Study Hub. I've already referred to the technical articles. So the technical articles which are shown in yellow in my checklist, please ensure you read them, all of them, because they're all important. Practice. Look at the right-hand side of the screen. Can you see the box here that says that's 9, which is very important? So when you're practicing, I'm just looking at 9. 9 papers. 9 papers, which one? September 23, that's important because that's from where the paper changed. December 23, March, June 24. 3 good papers where the paper pattern has changed to 195 minutes. Specimen 1 on the practice platform. The specimen 1 is given on the practice platform. Specimen 2, practice exam 1, practice exam 2, practice exam 3. They're all given on the practice platform. Specimen 1, specimen 2, practice exam 1, practice exam 2, practice exam 3. They're all made on 195 minutes. and they all have a pre-scene, plus the mock exam for December 24. Count them, the total nine. Nine papers with 195 minutes, nine papers with pre-scene, nine papers with the format you will be facing in December 24. That is enough for this last month. One last month, nine papers, and you're excelling. Are you all clear with the nine papers you need to do, including the mock? So, because a lot of times the student asks me a question, what to do in this last 1 month? Go with my checklist. I've shown you. Go with the nine papers, and that's all you need in the last 30 days. Is everyone clear with the list of the papers you need to do? Any confusion with that? Thank you. Moving on. Okay, now let's come to an important part of this crash course because I need to discuss the technical marks and the professional marks with you. I need to tell you how you can excel on the technical side and the professional side. So we're moving into the last phase of the day one, and we're moving to the most important phase of the day one. Let's first investigate why student fail in SBL. I just evaluated the June 24 examiner report, which is the most latest one. And I always focus on reinforcing to my students, do read examiner report. But the problem is they don't. So I thought if you're not reading it, at least I can make a summary for you. And I can tell you that from that examiner report, I investigated the reasons why students fail in SPL, despite the fact that the passing rate in the last exam sitting, September 2024, was 53%. Look at the list in front of you. Look at the column number one, issues. Let's start from the issues first. Issues. The first issue, copy and pasting. Student love that. Copy and pasting is not bad. Copy and pasting is a good skill. You should copy paste, but alone copy paste is bad. If you're not rephrasing the copy and paste, if you're not explaining the copy and paste, if you're not evaluating the copy and paste, if you're not adding a value to the copy and paste, alone copy and paste, disastrous. Disaster in making. Candidate repeat info without analysis. We're very clear. Is copy paste good? Yes. When copy paste become bad? Copy paste become bad when it is alone copy paste. You don't add any value to it. You don't add any explanation to it. You don't add any evaluation to it. You don't add any rephrasing to it. When we are reading and planning, do we copy paste in reading and planning? Is that a good technique? Tell me. Do we copy paste while we are reading and planning in our word processor? Is that a good technique? Yes. Who said no? When we are reading and planning, we do copy paste information from the exhibit to our word processor. That is a very good technique because that's the skill of a computer based exam. You are doing exams not with pen and paper. You're doing exam with computer. Do tell me in our day-to-day work, how many times we do use Control C, Control V? How many times you use Control C, Control V on a daily basis when you're using our laptops? Isn't that a good technique? Yes. Examiner is saying it becomes a bad technique when it's alone copy paste. Are you getting the point, everyone? Right? So alone copy paste is bad. But if we add value to the copy paste, if we are copy pasting while we are reading and planning, and then after the reading and planning, when we start to write the answer, we explain it, we elaborate it, we add value to it. Is that good? Is that what the examiner looking for, everyone? So are you getting clarity on the first issue, all of you? So if you just copy paste, look at the impact. Limited marks awarded. That's the impact. Number two issue, lack of development. I've covered this so many times, sorry. Points are not explained well. You're not developing your points well. Is there a definition of a well-developed point? Even though there is no definition of a well-developed point, I always tell my student that a point could be well-developed if it is 3 to 4 sentences long. 3 to 4 sentences long. Now, what is a sentence? A sentence is where you put a full stop. Sentence is not a line. Sentence is not a line. I'm not saying 4 sentences. Sorry, I'm not saying 4 lines. I'm saying 4 sentences. 3 to 4. At times it could be three, at times it could be four. If there is a greater help in the scenario, it can be 4 sentences long. If there is not a greater help in the scenario, it could be 3 sentences long. But anything less than that is not well developed. So try to reach that 3 to 4 sentences long definition in order to assure what you are explaining is in sufficient depth. Number three, poor application. Inability to relate answer to the case scenario. How many times I have told you? Link to the scenario, sync to the scenario. Your poor application. You're writing an answer which is not absorbing the exhibit information. You're writing the answer, but the answer is not coming from the information given to you in the exhibit. Disaster. You cannot just write anything journal, generic, or you cannot just write something about the topic you learned. It's about application. It's about connecting yourself to the case study. These words are very important, right? Connecting, sync, absorb, avoid generic, be specific. These are very important words for an SBL student. Poor application. So please ensure you connect your answer well to the case study. Number fourth, irrelevant content, unnecessary information included. A lot of time I've seen students, for example, if the examiner do mention the term Menlo, and he wants you to discuss the power and interest of the stakeholders in the scenario. So the student will first explain everything about the Menlo metrics. They will tell examiner there are 4 areas of the Menlo metrics: keep satisfied, keep informed, minimal effort, and they will illustrate everything even before coming to the answer. Examiner does not want the definition of SWOT analysis, Porter 5 forces. They don't want definition of the models. They don't want the model to be explained. They just want the application. Pick up a stakeholder in the scenario and tell what is the power and interest according to the information given in the scenario, and conclude is it keep satisfied, is it keep informed as the best strategy to engage with the stakeholder. So if you just reproduce the bookish stuff, you introduce a model, you give a description of a model before you start the real answer. That's not what the SBL examining team gets impressed with. That's number fourth, irrelevant content. Number five, you see what's the impact of number four, waste time and efforts. Simply, number five, inadequate knowledge. I've given you a checklist of 61 areas. At times, we are sitting in the exam hall and we are confused what to write because we have inadequate knowledge of the syllabus. We have not covered the syllabus in depth. We have not revised the articles on the website. Now, you have a checklist. You are in a better position, at least to assure that you're not doing mistake with inadequate knowledge. Time management issues. I've given you that at the start of my session today. 1.95 minutes per task, per mark, sorry. And I've given you the reading and planning time and the writing time. And I did mention that when the time is up, stop and move. Lastly, unprofessional presentation, not answering the question in the format, not even giving headings and subheadings, just writing and writing and writing without no breaks, no change of paragraph, no headings, no subheadings, not even writing the answer in a proper format, which the examining team asked for, like a memo, like a briefing note, like a report. Adverse impact on your skill marks. We have to cover the skill marks shortly, but adverse impact on skill marks. Now look at the list. We have almost 7 areas, 7 reasons why you failed. You have 30 days. You have 9 papers to practice. Will you assure that you mitigate these 9 areas, you mitigate these 7 areas in your 9 papers, all of you? Can you give me an assurance on that? Will you take a printout of this slide? Will you keep it in front of you when you're practicing? Will you assure that the 9 papers you have to practice, you mitigate the issues given to you in the column number 1? Please take a printout of the slide and paste it on the reading table or on your desk where you study SBL. Every day, look at this: why students fail in SBL, and try to overcome it. Okay. Now, once you know why students fail, let's look at the technical excellence and professional excellence. 80%, 20% of the paper. Okay. Excelling technical marks, 80% of the paper. You saw the reasons why students fail: no connectivity, copy pasting, not developing the point, writing something inadequate, not being asked for. And that really affects your excellence in technical marks. Just let's look at the summary I've prepared for excelling technical marks. And I'll show you a glimpse of that on the day 2, day 3, day 4, when I do the task 1, task 2, task 3 from the December 23 paper. Number 1, understanding of the requirement. What to do? What examiner wants me to do? Read the requirement. What the examining team wants to do: evaluate the benefits, evaluate the importance of integrated reporting, comma, and the benefits for the stakeholders. For example, now one student only wrote about importance of integrated reporting, and he didn't bother about writing the benefits to the stakeholder. At times in one requirement, you have a comma, you have and, and you ignore that. So you are partially answering the requirement. When you're reading the requirement, read carefully just to understand how many things I want to answer. 1, 2, 3. At times there are 3 within one requirement. Read it very carefully. How many things to address? I just talked about that. And split of marks. How many marks I have? How to split them? By 2, by 1. I'll be speaking of that greatly on my day 2, 3, and 4 when I do the task, and I'll tell you the split of marks, where to use 2, where to use 1. We know broadly it's 2, but you need to have intelligence. You need to have a clever mind, because at some places it's very obvious that you have to go with 1. I'll show you a glimpse of that. At some places you need to use your common sense, and you can easily pick it out that yes, over here I have to use 1. But most of the time, 90% of the time, it's to divide by 2, because every well-developed point in SBL is 2 marks. So understand the requirement. When I do it on the day 2, I'll put time on understanding the requirement. I'll tell you how to read, how to plan, how to identify the marks, how to identify how many points I have to write. This is part of the reading and planning time. Then number 2, connect to the case. Now, once you've read the requirement, once you know what to do, now you know which exhibit to read. Because now in the SBL paper, uh, one task will connect with one exhibit most of the time. Yes, it could be possible that the task 1A connects with exhibit 1 and the task 1B connects with exhibit 2. That's quite fine. But one task will connect to one exhibit. That sets now the rule of thumb we follow in SBL since September 23. And I'll be showing you that once I practice. So once you know which exhibit to connect my task with, start reading the exhibit. And when you're reading the exhibit, you will find some important information which meets the objective of your requirement, which is in line with what the requirement was asking for. Copy paste that and keep putting that into your word processor. And your reading and planning time is up. Now start writing the answer. You read the task, you know what to do, you know how many marks I had, you know the split of marks, you know how many points I need to write. You went to the relevant exhibit, you read through the exhibit, whichever point you found important, which met the objective of the requirement, you copy pasted that point, put it in the word processor. The reading and planning time is over. Now you will convert that copy paste into a well developed point. Just I told you in why student failed, and you're fine with the technical marks. Is this something difficult? Is this something different? What we not what we are what is it something different? We do the same thing in the other papers, even in my AAA paper, even in my AA paper. We do the same thing. We read the requirement first. We understand the requirement first. We understand, okay, where is the answer? The answer is in this exhibit. I'll read the exhibit. I'll take out the information, dump that, and then start writing the answer. Yes, when you're writing the answer, you might recall something from the pre-scene. And if you recall something from the pre-scene which you think makes sense, and I should connect that with my answer, connect it with your answer. No forceful application of pre-scene, but there could be something relevant in the pre-scene which you recall and you think, oh, I can write this. This will be an amazing point, and you write it down. Is everyone becoming clear on excelling technical marks? Before I illustrate that on the day 2, 3, and 4, when I do the technical marks, and I tell you exactly the application of the slide you're looking for in front. Is everyone clear? Okay, great. Thank you. Now, it is very important that it's not just the technical marks which you are aiming at, because I believe the difference between passing and failing SBL is because of the professional marks. Most of the time, when the result is out, the student approaches you and tells you that this was my third attempt, my second attempt, my first attempt. And I'm scoring consistently into 46, 47, 44. Those sort of students needs to understand that how critical professional marks are, because those sort of students are failing SPL because they're not excelling on the professional side. They might be excelling on the technical side. That's why they score up to 44, 46, or 47. Let's see how we can excel on the professional marks before we do the broader discussions on the application of technical and professional marks on the 3 other days to come. Excelling professional marks. Professional marks, and to attain professional marks in SPL, I have divided my discussion into 2 parts. When I see examining team reports, because again, you don't see them and you're not bothered about reading them, but I'm very much concerned about reading examiner report. I love examiner reports. I have a habit of that. When I do read examiner reports, and I read what exactly is the examining team expecting out of the professional marks. I made a summary of that. And I got to a conclusion that the examining team is looking for 2 things in terms of attaining professional marks in SPL. Number one is the demonstration of journal professionalism. And number two is again the demonstration of the professional skill asked by the examiner. Both times it's a demonstration. Demonstrate. What does demonstrate means? Can anyone tell me? What does the word demonstrate mean? What does that mean in an SVL exam to demonstrate? I'm just waiting for your answers. Anyone can tell me? Okay, one good answer. Sanskriti is telling to show in your answer. Very good. So demonstrate means that it should be shown in your answer. It should be visible in your answer. It should be reflected in your answer. Very well said, Sanskriti. So that should be shown in your answer. That should be reflected in your answer, right? That should be visible. So if I'm checking your paper, I can see that in your answer. I can feel that in your answer. It's visible to me in the answer. I need not to search for it. Is everyone clear? Demonstrate. So each time you want to excel on the professional skill side, it's about demonstration. What to demonstrate? Number one, journal professionalism. And number two, the skills. Let's first look at how can you demonstrate journal professionalism before we look at how you can demonstrate a skill. Demonstrating journal professionalism is easier. And if anyone is losing marks because he or she is not demonstrating journal professionalism, then you're not a good student. Not at all. I would not rate you as a good student if you fail to demonstrate journal professionalism, because to me, this is a bonus marks you can get out of 20. Let's see how you go about doing journal professionalism. To demonstrate journal professionalism, number one, what you need to do, answer in the right format. Every requirement will tell you, prepare a report, prepare a memo, prepare two presentation slides, prepare a press release, prepare a letter, answer in the right format. If you're not answering in the right format, you're a very weak student. Number two, use headings and subheadings. Presentation is very, very important. You just read in the reason why students fail that headings and subheadings is important. So headings and subheadings. Break your answer into headings and subheadings. Avoid long paragraphs. So if you're writing in long paragraph, like 5 sentences, 6 sentences, seven, some students have a tendency because I check assignments. And when I check assignments, I see student tends to write in very long paragraph. That is not a very attractive answer. And some student break the paragraph when they have discussed one point. They break a paragraph, then they break a paragraph, then they break a paragraph. So it's about presentation, right? Because if I am checking a theoretical answer, I can tell you this is a nightmare. Checking a numerical answer is far easier. So I would really, I'm really concerned about the AAA examiner and the SBL examiner who checks the theoretical papers. More about the SPR examiner or the AFM examiners because they're checking more of the numerical stuff. In theoretical paper, it's very, very important that you present your answer in such a wonderful manner that anyone reading it uh, have gets indulged in your answer. So avoid long paragraphs, right? 3 to 4 sentences long, and that's good. Avoid repeating points. Please don't repeat points. Avoid repeating points. So try to write unique points in your answer. And good case connect. If you have a good connectivity to the case, you have extracted points from the exhibit, you have copy pasted points from the exhibit, you have a good case connectivity, and you even recall something from the pre-scene if possible, and you put that into the answer. So you blended the pre-scene with the exhibits and you produce a good answer. That's what the examining team is looking for at the end of the day. Are you all clear? Isn't this something easier to be done, easier to be demonstrated, all of you? Sanskriti, you told me that it's about reflecting this in your answer. It's about showing this in your answer. Isn't this something easier to show? Isn't this something easier to be demonstrated? Tell me, all of you. I'm waiting for your answers. Can you easily demonstrate all this on your screen? Why are we losing marks here? My question is to the students who are failing in the late 40s in SBL. The students failing into the late 40s. Why are we losing marks here? This is a very bad exam technique that you are adopting. So will you all assure me that in December 24 exam, you will put a strong emphasis on presenting your answers, laying your answers? But look at the 5 things you have on screen. Will you all assure me that you will do all 5 out of 5? Yes, definitely you need to practice. 9 past papers you have to excel on demonstration of the journal professionalism. Okay, just let's move on to the more important thing, demonstration of skill, professional skill. Now, when you're demonstrating a professional skill, and if I take you back to the practice platform, even though we have to see that on day 2, day 3, and day 4, can you see the practice platform on your screen demonstrating professional skill, not the journal professionalism? Can you all see the platform in front of your screen? Okay, good, you can. Okay, just let me take an example. Task number one in front of you. I open it up, and there are two parts to task number one. You can see there is a part A right here, and then there is a part B. Now, when you read the task part A, 1A, can you see there is a statement here, which I can highlight for you in green? Professional skill marks are available. And then you go down and you read the B part. And again, under the B part, there is a statement, professional skill marks are available. This is this is demonstration of a skill. What we discussed so far is a demonstration which is known as a journal professionalism, which is very, very important. But this is the demonstration of the skill. Now, I would like to ask a question to the students who fail in SPL, and there might be some in my current students who are taking it as a live session today. I have seen students that they do learn the meaning of the skill as if they learn the meaning of commercial acumen. You ask them the meaning of commercial acumen, they will tell you such an excellent meaning of commercial acumen because they've rote learned it. You ask them the meaning of analysis, they will know excellent meaning of analysis. Even I would not be knowing that. They are so well versed into that, and they will tell me the meaning. Okay. You go to the exam hall, you read the statement of the examiner that professional skill marks are available for commercial acumen, and you stop here. Can you see the blue part? You stop here and you recall the definition of commercial acumen, what you have learned or heard over the internet or from a tutor. And you say, okay, I need to demonstrate commercial acumen. And you start demonstrating in the manner in which you have learned the definition, which is very difficult. Is the examining team telling you that you have to demonstrate commercial acumen and they're not telling you anything after? Tell me. After commercial acumen, has the sentence got over? Or are they telling you something after commercial acumen? Are they telling us something after commercial acumen? The student give no importance to that at all. They just pick, okay, commercial acumen, okay, I know the definition and I'll do it. Why is that so? Why are you not reading after commercial acumen? Because what is written after commercial acumen will tell you how to demonstrate it. How to demonstrate it. So you're missing the most important thing. So one thing is the skill, commercial acumen, but how to demonstrate commercial acumen? There could be hundred of ways. Now, which way examining team wants from me? They want me to write the way A, and I'm writing the way B. They want to write the commercial acumen this way, and I'm writing commercial acumen that way, like this. So am I making the examining team happy? So is it important to stop at commercial acumen, or is it important to read what is after commercial acumen to understand how it should be demonstrated? Now see yourself. Commercial acumen by, look at this, by demonstrating awareness of how the data breach could damage NC Tech reputation. So when I'm writing my answer, and the answer I'm writing about the data breach above, if I try connecting my data breach answer with the possible impact on NC Tech reputation and what possible impact can be on the company's reputation and how it could be affected, how badly it could be affected, or how severely it could be impacted, am I impressing my marker? Am I doing justice to demonstrating commercial acumen if I'm linking the damage to the reputation of the company, if I'm linking the breach of the data to the damage on the reputation? So isn't the examining team telling you that how you should demonstrate commercial acumen? By connecting the breach to reputation. If any student talk about the breach but didn't connect the breach with reputation, are you scoring the professional marks? Tell me. So if a student talk about the breach but he's not connecting the breach with the reputation, are you scoring on your professional marks around commercial acumen? Are you getting the sense, everyone? So should we stop at commercial acumen or should we read after commercial acumen to understand how the commercial acumen should be demonstrated in a manner which the examining team wants it, not in the manner I want it? So if you learn the definition of commercial acumen, you might be demonstrating commercial acumen in the manner you are happy with, not the examining team. So you want to make yourself happy or you want to make the examining team happy? So which definition should go to the exam hall? No definitions. I don't tell my student to learn the definition of skills. I always tell my student to demonstrate that skill by reading the statement of the examiner, how the examiner wants it to be demonstrated. Are you getting clear with that, all of you? Will you make a habit of reading the statement and understanding from the statement how it's to be demonstrated? What is the sense of learning definitions? How many of you learn definitions of skills? Tell me honestly. As a tutor, I have never recommended it. How many of you learn the definitions of skills? What's the sense? Wasting your time. Look at the next one. Just an example. Look at the next one. Professional skill marks are available for analysis. And I stop here. And I say, oh, I learned the definition of analysis. Useless. Isn't the examining team telling you after analysis something? How to do analysis? How to demonstrate analysis? Yes, they are. See this. By considering the current IT security manual and any additional security controls that could minimize the risk of the future data breaches. So the data breach has happened. Now, what possible actions I can take to avoid a data breach in future? So any student who talks about additional controls or controls which are given in the IT manual of the company, which were not followed, because it's quite possible that some of the controls were given in the manual, but they were not followed. I can even recommend them. And I can even recommend a control beyond the IT manual, which was not written in the IT manual, which I believe should be followed to avoid the data breach in future. So any student who is writing upon the controls to mitigate or to minimize any such data breach in future will be scoring professional marks, right? But if you're not talking about controls, you're not talking about mitigations, you're not talking about the mitigations given in the IT manual or anything out of the IT manual, you're not scoring marks. At least you're not scoring professional marks. So are you clear of the importance of reading this statement about the professional skill marks? Will you be making a habit? 9 papers you have to do. Will you read the statement? Will you understand how this is to be applied? And will that be reflected in your answer? So if an answer contains mitigation, if the answer contains controls, you're scoring. If your answer contains the effect of the breach on the reputation, you're scoring not just the technical marks, but also professional marks. Is everyone clear? We have to do this on day 2, day 3, and day 4 when I read it and solve it. So far, so forth. Is everyone clear? Okay, great. So how many things we need to demonstrate when the examining team is asking for the skills to be demonstrated? Number one is the journal professionalism, and number two is the skill. Now, when you're demonstrating the skill, this is a summary. Each task will contain a statement of demonstration of skill, which you just saw on your screen by the examiner. And the more important thing is how to demonstrate it. Are you all clear with this? I've shown you 2 examples. In each case, was the examining team telling us how to demonstrate it? Yes. You missed that part. You all missed that part and you failed the SBL paper. How to demonstrate it? Students generally tend to ignore how to demonstrate it. How to demonstrate it and apply the skill the way the examining team wants it to be applied is what result in a higher score rather than you just look at the commercial acumen and analysis and you apply the way you want to, you're not scoring anything. So is everyone clear about the demonstrations of the two things you need to do under skills? Are you all clear with the definition of demonstrating professional marks? How many things we need to demonstrate? Look at the screen in front of you. Are you clear with the number one, journal professionalism? Are you clear with the demonstration of the professional skill in number two? Have I shown you examples from NC Tech? And we will do it on day two, day three, and day four. And I will reinforce it. Are you clear? Are you getting your confidence that we can score good from professional marks? Set a high barrier. I always tell my student aim for 15 out of 20. 15 out of 20. Never lose marks on journal professionalism. I believe the marks for journal professionalism are like 5 out of 20, 5 to 6 out of 20. Don't lose them. And don't lose marks on demonstrating the skill. Just read the statement of skill, just see how the skill is to be demonstrated and do it that way. So is everyone clear with it? Okay, now finally, the summary of my day one. Quality answer. I hope you are all now familiar with what is a quality answer. Why student fail? We got 7 reasons overcome that. Quality answer automatically. Technical marks, reading, understanding what to write, how many points to write, reading the exhibit, copy pasting things from the exhibit, then explaining things, then journal professionalism, and then demonstration of professional skill. If you do all what we talked about in the last 15, 20 minutes, will that result in a really good answer, an impressive answer, an answer which will take you above 50 in SBL? So can you make your own summary around quality answers, right? Starting from why student fail to the technical excellence to the professional excellence, that's a quality answer. Requirements, read them carefully. What to do, how many things to do, how many marks do I have, and how many points to write? Ask a question to yourself. Professional skill statement under every requirement. Try to understand which skill is to be demonstrated and how. How is important. Read through the case, read through the relevant exhibit, identify the relevant point from the exhibit, copy paste that in the word processor, and be prepared for writing a good answer. Copy paste points in the word processor, not just a lone copy paste. Then later on, when you're writing the answer, this copy paste will convert to your own explanations, elaborations, and you will have a very well developed point, 3 to 4 sentences long per well valid point. Build up the answer, explain the points, headings, subheadings, right format, demonstrating the skill asked for. Develop each point well to impress the marker. And that ends the story for a quality answer. Now, this is day one. This is just an introductory day. I've given you a checklist of 61 things today. I've given you guidance on technical side, professional side, which papers to do, how to revise, why student fail. I tried covering an overview which can give you a sense of motivation that we can pass the SBL paper. Has everyone got the right motivation from the day one? Yes, the lecture, the resources, all will be uploaded in the next couple of hours. How was the session today? Was it beneficial? Did it give you some sort of comfort that we are on the right track to pass the SBL? Did you got some right guidance, some right strategy, something you were missing and you thought, oh, it's really good I attended the session today. I would have regretted if I would have missed it. Okay, so I'll be meeting you back for day two, day three, and day four. There could be some revised timings. No need to do the Dr. Dinu series anymore because I've given you my 61 items agenda, Perth. So just go with my 61 items agenda and you will be fine. No need to invest time in Dr. Dinu series anymore now. Okay, is everyone clear now? Okay, thank you so much. Day two, day three, day four can have different set of timings because I need to conduct lots of webinars. And I just mentioned that in the WhatsApp group. So probably you can have different timings each day, but I'll keep informing you of the timings we need to follow for the next 3 days. So just stay tuned in the WhatsApp group. And once the recording and resources are uploaded, I'll inform you. Thank you so much for taking your time out. And I'll see you back soon with the day two, day three, and day four. Take care. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz, all of you.